when you look through the list of targets, do you have a pretty good read on some of them in regards to the history and what you're hearing, both firsthand and otherwise, based on leans? Who do they need to do a whole lot of work on? Who are the guys that, unless something falls apart, are fairly sure to come to Oregon, in regards to the targets out there?
I think some of that'll get sorted out this month. Like I said, 8 big time recruits this weekend. Got another one midweek next week, and then about close to a dozen the following Saturday for again what'll be 3 or 4 5 stars, a bunch of 4 stars. I think when the dust settles with some of these visits and probably visits across the country, probably by early July, you'll have a really good idea where things are. But I think if you want to just focus at quarterback, because I think that's the position everybody cares the most about, it really feels like the Ducks are kind of not in on, but 2 guys they've kind of settled on as their primary targets. One being Dante Moore, a 5 star out of the state of Michigan. One being Avery Johnson, a 4 star out of the state of Kansas. Johnson actually is on campus as we speak right now. Moore would be the preferred prospect, one of the top guys national, I think 7th ranked overall. Well, Avery Johnson is a really good prospect, a really high-end athlete, actually, great basketball player, but 215th nationally on the recruiting ranking list. So not obviously that's not a slight on him, but not quite the same caliber, not quite the same, I guess, elite level of a prospect. But I think it'll be one of those 2 guys at quarterback. I think, you want to run through some of the position groups. Oregon has a running back commitment. I don't know how many more they'll take. Richard Young will be on campus this weekend. That's a 5 star. Some pretty good buzz that Oregon's in a decent spot there. Receiver, they're pretty loaded right now with Jurian Dickey and Ashton Cozart. They'll have a couple more coming up the next couple weekends. I think tight end's an interesting one because Oregon, actually, their primary guy is from the state of Oregon. And that's not all the time now that common of a setup, but Riley Williams at a Central Catholic, one of the top tight end recruits in the country. I think he's like top 7 or 8. He will be on campus next weekend. Actually, the second best tight end. I think they've adjusted the ranking here nationally in the state of Oregon. I think Oregon's in a good spot there. His older brother Corbin was on the football team the last couple of years as a walk-on. I think offensive line's a really interesting one. Oregon is in on some of the top prospects, and they need to find some. Obviously, Josh Connerly last cycle was big, but 5 outgoing starters this upcoming season, more than likely all 5 will be gone. I don't know if you can anticipate too much from an incoming true freshman, but you certainly need to kind of build around the trenches. If we're going to run through all these, I guess I'll just keep doing it. Defensive line, there's some big time edge guys Oregon's in on. Jaden Wayne and Mateo Ungaungalele. Both of those guys will be here on the 24th. Actually, Jaden Wayne will be here this weekend, I think. I got that backwards. Ungaungalele and Wayne will both be here next weekend. It's Colton Vasek who's here this weekend. That's another big time edge player. I think linebacker's a position where they're in on a couple of guys that'll be here soon as well. Blake Nicholson and Leona Lafau out of Hawaii. Those are a couple of interesting linebacker prospects that are visiting soon. And then in the secondary, I think is an interesting spot because I've seen people say that it should be a big priority. I actually think Oregon's in a decent spot already with Cole Martin committed and Cody DeCambra to maybe not go too heavy secondary the rest of the way. I'm sure they'll address the position a little bit, but I think those are some of the primary names that are at least visiting soon, and there are more. I mean, there are going to be other players that trickle in throughout the summer, and I said I go on vacation. I go on vacation after tomorrow. I'll be up at a recruiting event up in Portland, and we'll see if anybody pops from that event to maybe jump on the scene. But I think Oregon seems to have a decent idea of where they stand with guys, and they've already again scheduled a couple dozen worth of official visits by midsummer, which is again kind of an adjustment from where I've seen things be previously.